This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon and welcome to our Wednesday webinar. My name is Michael Wimberly and I will be presenting the webinar today. Today's topic will be Creo Parametric and Solidworks Collaborative Designing. Of course, the objective of this webinar is to review and demonstrate Creo Parametric and SolidWorks collaborative designing, basically how those two can work together with some of the enhanced functionality inside of Creo. Of course, the overall agenda is an introduction of myself and Boundary Systems, the brief overview of the topic, and of course, a demonstration of the actual product, and then a follow-up Q&A. So once again, my name is Michael Wimberly. I am a senior technical specialist at Boundary Systems. I've been here for a little bit over 6 years now. I've been working with PTC products in the channel and as an actual user for over 20 years now. It's actually coming up on, it's just past 25 years. Also a certified trainer in Creo and Windchill classes, as well as a certified implementation specialist for Windchill as well. As for Boundary Systems, we are, of course, a PTC partner with 20 plus years of experience in the PTC channel. And as I stated before, our technical specialists have 10 to 20, some of us plus 20 years of experience with PTC products. Some of our major accreditations that we have are PTC software reseller, also a preferred service provider for PTC, certified training partner, authorized training centers. So we have training centers all over the US as well as in Canada. And we also have mobile training centers, so we can actually bring training to you if necessary as well. We are, of course, a maintenance partner and Windchill certified implementer. We currently are supporting over 100 Windchill implementations or customers inside of North America currently. And we're looking at on the right side of the overhead is just simply some of the customers that we work with. Currently, this, of course, isn't all encompassing of everybody that we work with just some of the companies that we're currently doing work with. Our overall mission statement of the company is first to have the most technical expertise on PTC products of any company in the world. Pardon me. So that's why it's good that we do have our technical specialists that have 10 plus years of experience on PTC products, because we've used it in real world situations and we've been able to transfer that over into the actual technical support area as well. With that, it helps us to better understand the needs of our customers. So because we have been using the software, we have used the software, we're able to understand what things apply appropriately with the customers. So when we do go in and propose some type of a solution for you all, we're pretty sure that what we're proposing will work for what you're looking to do. And with that, we do guarantee success on every solution that we go through and implement for you. So once again, because we've done our research and we've worked with you on how to go through and what's best for you at this point in time with conversations between us and you, then it helps us to better suit our solutions towards you. So we do guarantee success for every solution that we implement. And of course, the overall goal of not just us, but the customers as a whole is, of course, to decrease costs, decrease time to market, and increase the quality of the actual product themselves. Now, if you have any additional questions, you can, of course, contact me directly. My name is Michael Wimberly, once again, and my number is 513-415-0747, or you can reach me through email at mwimberly@boundarysys.com. If you have any sales-related questions, you can also direct those to our sales department at 440-274-0291 or sales@boundarysys.com. I'll also have this information displayed after the demonstration and everything as well. So if you don't have it right now, you can get it later. All right, so the thing that we're going to go through and cover right now is Creo Parametric and SolidWorks collaborative designing. So of course, we're now going to go ahead and jump into a demonstration of the actual solutions. So currently I pulled up Creo, so I'm actually working in Creo 4. Creo 4 is actually the build of, or the version of Creo that has what we call what is called the Unite technology. The Unite technology actually allows us to go in and pull in the native files from other applications. So not just Creo files, but SolidWorks files, CATIA files, and so on and so forth, and have them recognized in Creo as their native file. So it's not doing an import where it ends up as just a dumb file that has no connection to anything. We actually pull in the actual SolidWorks file, so it does recognize it as a SolidWorks object. So when I come over here, and I am connected to Windchill, this also kind of helps with the collaborative portion of it. So what I'm going to show you is the information inside of Creo, pulling it up inside of Creo, but I'm also going to go into SolidWorks. And what we're going to go in and see is the ability to go in and make changes in SolidWorks and have those changes propagated directly into Creo. So we'll see that. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and select and open up a file. So once again, I'm inside of my workspace, but currently inside of my workspace, it's not showing anything because it's only looking for Creo files. Once I come down here and change this extension, I'm going to go ahead. Now I do have, as you can see down here, multiple types of objects that I can open from different softwares. SolidWorks is right here. I can go in and select that directly, and it'll show me all my SolidWorks files. I can come over here and select on that file to go in and open it up. And when it goes in and opens it up, if you look in the model tree, it does recognize that it is a SolidWorks file. Now, it's not bringing in the SolidWorks tree. We're not going in and doing that, but it does recognize that this object is a SolidWorks object. Now, with my flexible modeling functionality, I can come over here and still manipulate the different information inside of here. But that's, of course, another demo that we'll go through and show, or we've actually shown. You can look in our YouTube page to see that, but I'm sure we'll do another one sometime soon as well. But what the purpose of this is because we do have a collaborative design. So I've now maybe brought this part into an assembly. I have this large assembly that has our Creo files in there, but there are some files that we have from a customer or supplier that are SolidWorks direct files that we want to go through and add inside of our assembly. Now, once again, we don't want to add them as just simply dumb files. We want to add them as actual functional files. So this is what it allows us to do. So not only open it up directly inside of a Creo as a part, we can also assemble it into an assembly, and it still recognizes it as a SolidWorks file as well. So here's the part that I have currently. And then once again, just to show you, in my workspace, I do have that particular file directly inside of my workspace. So we're looking at is the engine front demo part, and that's what this actual file is here. So it does have that SolidWorks file. All right, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and minimize Creo, and behind Creo, I have SolidWorks open. So once again, I have SolidWorks, and I'm connecting SolidWorks through the Workgroup Manager, and you can see inside of my SolidWorks workspace, I have that same file, so that engine front demo file. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up inside of SolidWorks. And I'll minimize that, and we can see that file directly inside of here. Now, just so you can see that we are working on the same file, we can see that this version of the file is at 1.5, and we can see that inside of Creo, it's also looking at this file as 1.5. So what I'm going to do is just make a couple of modifications inside of here. So I'll go ahead and change a couple of dimensions. I'll go ahead and decrease this size. See what it looks like if I basically cut it in half. Go ahead and update the geometry. Brings that down. Let's go ahead and increase the width of this. I'm going to make that a little bit larger. Same thing, update. And let's see if we can tweak this chamfer. Let's change this angle from 25 to 45. Same thing, generate, and now we can see that tapered a little bit more. So we've gone in and reduced the height of the extrusion here. We've increased the width of the extrusion here, and we've changed the taper of the geometry here. So I'll go ahead and save that. And of course, because I am working inside of Windchill, it does verify that I currently do not have this file checked out. Of course, I do want to check it out because the changes that I have, I want to propagate those directly inside of into Windchill. So it's now going through and it's saving it. Everything has been updated. It's going to make one more change. It's going to decrease the size of this 0.025. And then once again, regenerate that. There we go. And then I'll save that again. All right. So now I can go ahead and close out of Solidworks, or at least close that model out. And what I'm going to do is simply bring back up my workgroup manager. Now I do have the ability inside of Solidworks to also check that file in. I'm just coming in here into the actual workgroup manager to just show you the information inside of here, so we can see that file. We can see that we have it checked out. We can see that it's modified. And now all we want to do is simply go through and now check it into Windchill. So I'll come over and specify to check that file in. It just simply verifies it. I always say whenever you create a check-in, modified, I'm sorry, whenever I tell people to go and do a check-in, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and add some notes as far as what you've changed, modified dimensions. And of course, this is demo, so it can be as simple as I want it to be. All right, go and finish it. You can see that it's going in and uploading it, it checked it in. So now we're good. Now it's at 1.6. Great. So now when I go back into Creo, when I go back to my model tree, now at this point, nothing has changed. But if I do come over here and I regenerate this model, what I'll see immediately is now I get a notification that I have an outdated PDM. So basically I have an item that is out of date based on what's inside the system. Now, in order for this to work appropriately, there is an additional extension. It is an actual SolidWorks collaboration extension that will basically allow you to go through and have the real-time updates between Creo, SolidWorks, and Windchill. So the Unite technology, as far as pulling up native files inside of Creo, is standard out of the box. So in Creo 4, there's nothing that you need to go in and open up native files. So you can open those up freshly inside of Creo without, once again, them converting into simply a blob, basically a dumb solid. So this, once again, will keep that connection between SolidWorks and Creo. And with the SolidWorks collaboration extension, it will also allow you to go through and do updates inside of SolidWorks with the newer, inside of Creo with the newer version of the SolidWorks extension. Now, there are other extensions with that as well for other softwares too. Of course, we're just dealing with the one for SolidWorks right now. So as I said, as soon as I regenerate it, I get this notification that I have something that is out of date. So I'm going to go ahead and select on that, and it comes over and tells me that this item is simply out of date. Great. I want to go in and select on it. I'm going to right click on it, and there's an option in here that simply says update. Great. And it's simply telling me the objects that you have and are basically out of date. Do you want to update these object files? I sure do. It's going through now, bringing that file inside of my workspace. So currently, if I was to go to my workspace, it would actually have the newer version of that file inside of my workspace. Now what it's going to do is, because I have it inside of Creo, it's asking me, do I want to go through and update these files inside of Creo as well? So I'll go ahead and say yes. And now it's going to go through and replace what I have in session with the newer version of the file. And there you can see that it brought in that newer version of that file where the radii are smaller here. This is width is thicker, and of course the height of those extrusions are updated as well. So we can see once again with the collaborative design extension, or I should say collaborative extension with SolidWorks, it's really seamless to go through and be able to work in a multi-CAD environment. We deal more and more with customers that have more than one CAD system, whether it's through purchasing another company or being purchased by another company, whatever it is, but they have multiple things and you're now sharing data between the two. Instead of going in and working with the dumb solid, we can come over here and actually work with the native files and keep things updated real time. So just like the collaborative design that we use with Creo directly between the individual files inside of multiple Creo sessions, we have that same ability between Creo and Solidworks. So we have the ability to once again do real-time collaborative design between multiple CAD systems. So that's where this comes in and is very beneficial. So as I said, inside of Creo, once again, starting with Creo 4, the Unite technology allows you to go through and open up just simply native files from other softwares, and once again, have them recognized as the actual native file and not converting them into a dumb solid. With the collaborative extension, the SolidWorks collaborative extension, we can also go through and have real-time syncing of data, as we saw here. When we do make changes in SolidWorks, it is recognized that what we have inside of our Creo session is out of date and allows us to go through and sync up that data between the two versions of the software. I'm sorry, two versions of the file. So once again, you can see that just as a note, you can see that the file extent or the file version now is at 1.6 because that's what, of course, what was checked into the actual database. So collaborative functionality, collaborative design between multiple CAD systems is becoming easier and easier, and this is one of the methods that will allow it, once again, allowing you to use Creo with other softwares to go in and work seamlessly. Once again, the example that we're showing here is simply the SolidWorks extension. All right, so at this point, I will go in and open up for any questions. Yes, the question is the SolidWorks extension, of course, an add-on? Yes, it is an add-on. As I mentioned before, the Unite technology is standard with Creo. There's nothing that you have to do to bring in non-native Creo files, but in order to get the true collaboration between the two, it does take that SolidWorks collaboration extension to be able to use that. The next question is, does it require Windchill in order for that to work? To my understanding, it does not, but as long as your files are in the same directory, it should update, it should recognize newer versions of the files being saved into that directory. That is something that we probably need to test. I've been working inside of Windchill, but as long as you're pulling that file from the same location, it should recognize that there is a newer version in that folder that you have on your server or your local drive, wherever you have it, and still show you that something is out of date. But once again, that's something that we can go in and test out. But I do recommend Windchill. It solves all those problems, and versioning, but that's another conversation. All right, there's no additional questions. A couple of other things is we do have additional webinars coming up, so check our website for webinars that we have coming up. So we'll continue to have them, of course, all throughout the remainder of the year, and of course starting into next year. We also, of course, have our training. If you go to our training website, you can also see all of the training locations that we have and the classes that we have coming up. One of the things that you will see is that we do have a column in here for guaranteed classes. So you can see what classes we have coming up that are guaranteed. This one right here, there's a system administration for Windchill that is coming up the first part of December, and that class is a guaranteed class. So you can see that, and that is in our Cleveland location. So If you go to our website, go into the training area, you can actually see our training schedule and everything inside of there. You can also see the webinars that we have coming up as well. Now, if you do have any additional questions, feel free to contact me. My name, once again, is Michael Wimberly. Phone number 513-415-0747 or mwimberly@boundarysys.com. Or any directly sales related questions, you can go call at 440-274-0291 or sales@boundarysys.com. Also, for our customers, current customers, we do have our ticketing system that you can go into and open up a ticket. If you have any tech support issues that you want us to go through and address, when you do open up that ticket, it does go to all of our support, technical support specialists, and we have an engineer of the week that will go in and look at it, and once again make sure that we cover the information that you need. You can also anyone can go in and actually send in an email to support, and that is support@boundarysys.com. And once again, that will get to our support team as well, and we'll be able to assist you there as well. And once again, for all information, feel free to contact us or look us up on the web at boundarysys.com for additional webinars that we have. Not only can you look on our website, but if you do go into YouTube, just search for Boundary Systems and you'll see a link to our page inside of YouTube where we have all of our webinars that we've gone through and created. And you can see any of the past ones that we have. If you have any recommendations for one that we may not have had, feel free to send that to us as well. All right, so thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you on the next webinar, Wednesday webinar. Thank you.